What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I'm already laughing because Caleb, if you're watching this, shut up. I know I always come here on Sundays, but that's the only day I can afford to shop here because I can't afford any of this stuff you see behind me. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't keep our goals in perspective. I actually couldn't be happier that we didn't buy a Corvette this year because the truck and Jeep content is going crazy. You guys are super interactive. I love all of you. And plus, it's gonna be a lot more fun to organically grow the channel. We need to prove that YouTube can still work today, so get involved, hit the subscribe button if you wanna see something like this on the channel in the future. But we are going a different direction for now, and that is totally fine with me. But that doesn't mean we still can't look at these suckers. So check this out. Got a yellow Stingray out here today. Look at this blacked out. Now this C8, guys, I want this so freaking bad. Black rims, black tint, and the peanut butter guts. Look at the peanut butter, could you please? This is insane, y'all. And even this red one over here, look at this bad boy. I would totally go red in a Vet or a Ferrari or anything that is super sick like this. Insane, guys. Woo! This is bad. I gotta stay out of here. I gotta stay away from here. Keep me out of here, guys. And it's running it down right there. Looks like 8 minutes left to get everything reprogrammed, and in there you can hear it beeping up a storm. But basically going through everything, recalibrating it, and ought to be good. It's a lot of fun being down here. We definitely didn't have anything this fancy at home, that's for sure. I wanted to DIY it, but that ain't gonna happen. But anyways, a lot going on as usual out here, trying to get a Ford to start. What do you know about that? But to Overtime Diesel again. You know, Ovi helped us out before on the BCM replacement, but now that didn't fix our problem, so we are back to work. Stop back down. He's gonna ride along with me so we can kind of see, you know, maybe what's going on a little bit more. He can plug in during the ride along and actually run the diagnostics while we're driving the truck, so that should tell us a little bit more of where to look and what's going on, and then we'll actually be able to get some feedback. Hopefully he can get us back on the road going again, and I can let you guys know. If this is your first time to the channel, make sure you go back and check the last video so you know exactly what we're talking about. But thank you all for the love and support on the channel as we grow. I cannot thank you guys enough. This is absolutely a riot. I love doing this stuff for y'all. So let's get into it. Today's video. Popping as usual, coming in popping as usual. Better can't stop it as usual. It's too late. I'm on I-10 by 10. Racing, I'm racing. For sure, I made it up out of that episode. Sure. Pulling out on the road, I'm making a story they never told. Promise to never fold, I'm turning my hustle to overload. Yeah, I can survive the cold. Of course, it starts raining as soon as we get out here, but we are down here now trying to check to see what's going on here, trying to run some more diagnostics. Ovi's got it plugged in here, looking under the hood. His wheels are spinning, which is good. But since we changed the BCM out, we're still getting the same codes, so we are trying to see what the heck is just going on in here. But anyways, a lot going on as usual out here, trying to get a Ford to start. What do you know about that? But other than that, I got some wheels turning down here. I saw a couple cool things. We need to get a project vehicle going, so kind of talking to Ovi about a couple things down here that might be just a good fit for us. But anyways, that's it for now. Checking some stuff out. Alright, so we're back from the test drive. Ovi here is working on the key. I told you guys to remind me that the key was messed up, so luckily, hopefully somebody did. If not, I remembered, so we're getting the key reprogrammed. We went for the test drive, and turns out it looks like we were actually low on brake fluid. If you look over here, underneath the hood, this reservoir tank right here, you can see it was actually down to here. Ovi noticed it. Of course, I couldn't see it. That just goes to tell us that maybe the light actually was doing what it was supposed to do and detected an actual problem. So we topped this off with brake fluid and then went for another run, and the lights didn't come on, so we'll see how it does on the way home after this. But now we're just going to get this key programmed and see where we go from here, but hopefully we got it. Oh yeah, there she is, boys. Look at that, there, LBZ again. LLY, LB7, whatever. I'm so bad at telling cat eyes which ones they are, but there she is, the old overtime diesel one. Look at it go, look at it go. Send her, boy. All right, well, we made it home, and guess what? Not one light came on the whole way home, so hopefully we got it. Yes, I'm an idiot. I know, I cannot believe I goofed that up. But anyways, we did get the key reprogrammed too, so hopefully this locks her up. Oh, yeah. Look at it go. Beautiful. So that's all reprogrammed and ready to go. And you're never going to believe this, but the engine, check engine light, the one that's been on for 3 years, those 2 codes, but Ovi said it's actually coming from these mirrors. Remember when these weren't official Boost Auto mirrors? And I didn't end up plugging them in right and goofed them all up. That's actually what Ovi thinks was the check engine light. Had something to do with the mirrors. It said ambient air temp and something to do with the mirrors. I'm not all super crazy into all that stuff. But anyways, we're going to trust him on that. I don't know if he cleared it out or if it's going to come back on, but he definitely said we need to do something about these mirrors. So hopefully I can get some different mirrors on here or just drive it. Who cares? But I do want them lighting up. But I'm just still in awe that all that happened to my truck was the brake fluid was low. I'm so embarrassed, guys. Okay, before I forget too, I wanted to mention the reason why that the lights were only coming on at the stop and go traffic was because the brake fluid was moving. Obviously it was low, so then when you would come to a stop, it would shift forward and then roll back. So it's probably right on that threshold, and that's why the light would go away as soon as you started going again. And also Ovi was thinking that because of the wreck, when we wrecked the front end, they had a bunch of parts off of it, obviously, and all the fluids drained out, so they probably just didn't fill it all the way. Same like the reservoir tank with the coolant system, how that was low. You guys noticed that in the HSP video. But now that we got our fluids topped off, we should be in tip-top shape. All right, well anyways, guys, I guess that's gonna wrap up part 2 of what's not going to be a 5-part series video. Thank God I didn't drag this out, and I would have just included this information in the first video if I knew that it wasn't something more complex than it was gonna be. I figured it was gonna be a lot worse. We did swap out the BCM in the last video. We may or may not have needed to do that. I feel like the nav screen kind of works better now, but clearly it was just low brake fluid, so instead of spending $350 in parts and labor to swap that booger out, I could have just spent $10 on some freaking brake fluid or whatever that costs. So lesson learned, I'm an idiot. I will admit that every single time I goof up, so bear with me on that. At least I'm being honest with you guys. Hopefully you learned something. If you didn't, you learned I'm an idiot. So hopefully you still want to stick around right here for the subscribers and for anyone that's considering joining us in the future for more videos. I am super pumped for a bunch of videos that are coming up. So if you feel like I've been kind of dry lately, it's only going to get better. I have so many cool things going on behind the scenes that I can't wait to share with you guys. As we grow the channel, we're meeting more people in the industry, we're meeting like-minded individuals, and it's just really cool to interact with a bunch of people in the industry. So I don't want to say too much, but you're not going to want to miss what we have coming here in the near future. So that'll be my little ramble or my little enticing, take the bait and stick around type of thing. But as always, you know, put some comments down below on what you like, didn't like, or want to see next. I'm an open book. I'm new. I'm growing. I'm trying to, you know, make this YouTube thing work for us little guys out there. You know, I only got maybe 500 subscribers, if that. But I'm trying. I want to prove that YouTube can still work in 2023 and beyond, and you don't have to be 18 and hip. I am a dad, a father, a husband, full-time worker, and still trying to do YouTube on the side, so show some love for that. All right, I'm done rambling. You guys have a great afternoon. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.